there's always like a 1 minute lag, and we're gonna rip through some tracks. We got some ambient, we got some hardcore, we got some house, we got some techno, we got some new releases. We got Freddie Bergstrom back in the group. All of respect, OSP. Oh, yes. All right, sweet. The stream is up. We're starting it off. I love this track. Okay. I'm gonna try to do like a 12-track show in less than 2 hours. I'm so happy to see how many tracks are coming through Discord and the comments and everything. And when I go to do the tags on the timestamps, I noticed that I'm taking about 10 minutes per review, and that might be a little bit long. So I'm gonna do a couple things differently. Today, there's no banner on top. I'm not gonna try and title all the tracks that are playing. We're gonna have to look at them in SoundCloud. I don't know if that's gonna be great for me on retitling, but that might make it a little faster. And, oh good, Nick's here, yeah. I think we're playing Nick's track, right? And if y'all can help me keep it down to like less than 10 minutes per track, because as this grows, we wanna do more and more tracks. Might have to add another day of video streams. I might end up doing this every day. I don't care, that'd be awesome. So let me go over to the stream that's playing. Okay, Nick Lavely this time. And this is what we heard in the intro music. By the way, give me a yes if you can hear and see everything. I just want to make totally sure it's all good. But I think so. And I want to see my levels because the next thing I'm about to do is turn this up. Okay, we're at the end of the track. I'm going to talk about it from here. This track sounds amazing. This could be in a dubstep genre for real. Oh, cool. Audio's fine. Thank you. Low end is good. The drops are good. The mix is nice. The bass line. And the progression. I listened to this track like 2 or 3 times already on loop, and I'm just like, yes. So let's go through to the ending, and then I'll start off at the beginning again to hear how it started up. Oh my God, all the people. I was just pulling up your tracks in different tabs. This scratchy, glitchy sound, like, I really like it. Sound design is super cool in this track. I already pressed the loop switch. And then ending with a drift into the reverb. I love it. Let's let this one start over and just hear how did we get to that section of amazing bass drops.
Time is running out. If you
Oh my God. I am logged into my account that has SoundCloud Pro specifically to avoid this. And I don't know why we're hitting so many ads. Go ad free. Speaking of things I could do to speed up. I'll say hi to everybody. We got Ian Waters, we got Piv Clit, Kimono Breeze, it's Jesse, the Matt Schultz. Saw that new release up here, Introspective, which is sounding really good. Okay. Back to Nick Lavely. It does start off nice and ambient. That scratchy sound is my favorite. And now this orchestral kind of feel, really good. That's a nice subtle riser. And then that impact comes in. It's great. And And I like how the mix is really clear. There's only a few elements, deep bass, plucky strings, a little glitchy on top, and super simple beats. A lot of space in here, so it sounds like really super fluid. I am going to skip through the sections a little bit instead of playing the whole entire thing because we heard a bunch of it. So let's go through. Oh, that vocal. And I hate leaving out so much of it by skipping tracks, but I want to hear how we go through this breakdown into the next main drop. And the chord progression is rising. So it has like a positive feel. Oh, I know what I can do too. That was super cool. Let me pause right there. We had that little false drop for 2 bars where we're going through the chord progression. And as we go through the chord cycle, you kind of expect the drop to come at the end of the cycle, and instead you get a 2-bar false drop. That's a great thing to do to make the low end heavier. Let's count it. You'd think it would be here. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. And then you get the drop. That's my favorite part right there, that 2-bar little thing. So for structure and timing, it's an extra 2 bars of space in between 8-bar blocks or 16-bar blocks, where you're expecting a drop to come down on the downbeat, and instead you have to wait a little bit. Let's just analyze what happens in that 2-bar gap, because this is something I want to do in a track for fun. So the question is, what are the sounds in that little 2-bar gap? Okay, so it started with a little chirp. It went ping, going into the reverb. That was almost like a cymbal crash, but not. But it functioned like a percussive sound to announce like there's a moment. There was a reverse cymbal happening, and a bass woom came in too, right? That was cool. The cymbal crash is in the high frequency, ramping up in volume and frequency, and the bass woob is in the low frequency, coming up in volume. And I think there's a couple little plucks too. And then there's a delay happening with the synth melody that's going, the plucks. So that's cool. Yeah, opening a bass filter and raising the level. Nick, I love false drops like that. All right, I'm gonna play one more little false drop and just get to the beat. And then we're back in it where we started. Beats sound great, all the sounds are together, the whole track is crushing it. And there we go. I don't have any mix notes on this at all. This track sounds done to me. It sounds like it's ready for mastering, which means we're gonna move on. I don't have to title anything else. So here comes Scott Burke, Canada, a track called On My Mind, and I think I have the updated link. So let's go. Oh, Kimono, Ghost ARP in the back. Was that actually a delay off the main ARP, or was that like a super quiet layer that kept continuing into the false drop? The world wants to know. So we heard this on Saturday. I guess we got a couple updates, and Scott Burke's got somewhere to be, so we're gonna do this. And I'll stop talking. Different. The way those hi-hats came in feels better. It's like a chatter. Ching, chicka, chicka, chicka. Yes, we were talking about that galloping triplet thing a lot. Cool, let's see what happens. far, so good. That lead sound I think could change a little bit more for me, like a filter moving or something, because it feels like almost like a bagpipes drone. It's a very constant texture. Okay, well now it's changing. That's good. Yeah. Maybe a volume pulse to be like wow, wow, wow. Something like that. It feels like a very like a ribbon, just a flat sound. Wasn't there a vocal? Yeah, the voice was changing where the chord changed, I remember. Looking at the comments, you guys. Yeah. This is like an interesting stereo field and space. Feels like we're in a holding pattern, kind of like waiting. There we go, yeah. Okay, 357. I would bring the hi-hat in at the same time right there, because we came in with a kind of a chill drop after that break. I think it would be okay to bring the hi-hat and the snare in together. Maybe right here. Wait. I want to hear that scratchy sound that was like a cymbal. Okay, that static burst was a little loud. I thought it was almost like glitch for a second. It was like, so maybe bring that down a little. But perfect, yeah, now with the hi-hat in there, it's like totally going. Yeah, man, the rhythm and the groove is much more tightly connected. You had that thing with the kick drum was like a little bit late or something. Imagine that was driving you crazy. Definitely feels a lot tighter rhythmically today. That vocals, I like, it's growing on me. I think the vocal could come up a little bit and the lead melody could come down, because that drone thing I'm still feeling is like a really dominant sound in the track. I might want to pull that down a little bit or get it pulsing, or even do a long ramp where it like fades in slowly and gets up to that drone and then fades down, like on an 8-bar ramp or something, you know? Ah, Maxime is here. Yeah, a lot of layers. Yeah, when that drone fades down, these little blinky arps, they kind of feel like ceramic tiles, like tick, 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 tick. They come through more. Hear those little hi-hat rolls? At 547. And this part, you can really feel how the low end is like. All right, cool. How does he bring it to a close? Canada genre. there a little flanger or something on that bass echo? It's like... Nice job on that mix. Claps, claps, claps. I gave enough tips. I'm not going to summarize every tip I said. I know I was talking a lot during the mix. The main thing is that the drone lead, I would do some kind of volume thing to get it coming in and fading down and coming in and fading down, maybe slowly over time, because it is cool that it's hanging there and it's like always on my mind. Drone is always there. Makes sense in the track. But I think it could use a little bit of motion just so it's not like this omnipresent sound. Okay, Ben Hunt, Persimmon. See if I can check the Discord notes on this. Pull this up a little bit. Okay, so Ben Hunt said this is a new track. He's looking for that slower, chugging, cosmic kind of sound. Space disco. You're in good hands. Modulated pitch wheel bend, yeah? Okay. So Ben Hunt, this is nice and chill so far. Ooh. Well, that was cool. If there's a little vocal back there, loop, it should be louder. I'm not even sure what that is, but it sounds like that could be louder. We're definitely in space right now. Yeah, vocal. Ooh. Ramping up the kick drum. Teasing it with a filter. That's a good drum fill. You hear that? Just a couple toms of reverb, nice and loud. Let me go through that again. I haven't heard that kind of a build-up before. We had the synths were pulsing, and the whole beat faded up in volume with the kick and the beat, and then there was a tom fill, and the synths. Let's just listen to what the synth filter did. And there was a sound that had some LFO fast modulation going, like a squeaky one. Let's check it out from 239. So it's a sneaky volume ramp on the main beat. Synth filters are opening up. And there is some kind of thing that might be like a white noise type of synth with a fast LFO modulation and resonance, making that chirpy swimming sound. That was cool. And now the synths are open at like the low pass filter is opened up more so they're brighter. Yeah, that was a cool fill, a cool build. I could use a little more kick drum. How do y'all feel with the kick drum? gonna go in the bass cave, but I think this needs a bigger kick drum as a real thud, because I know it's there and it's low and deep, but it's the synths are really bright on top and everything, and I can feel like you need some more kick in there. Sound design's awesome. Cut the kick drum, do a filter sweep. And we're back in space. So the synths are really big and bright, and they're awesome in the mids and the highs, nice frequency balance and everything. Stereo width, action, good sound design. Kick drum beat needs to be louder. Jesse, I knew you were, I was like, I'm gonna play Jesse's track after this. Be a good blend. And this little vocal sample should definitely get jacked up louder. It's really cool. Get by, get by. What is she saying? Yeah, more kicks. A little dive bomb sub, never hurt anybody. All right, let me skip out, see how do we do the ending. Because that track really floats for a while. So I'm coming in for a landing. Kick is, yeah, the kick. I mean, Jesse, I agree. It's not like it is a synth wave sort of track, so it doesn't have to be all about the kick. But even within the feeling of this music, I think it needs more kick. Just a little more volume with the kick that's there. It doesn't have to be like a death crusher, you know. And a nice fade out. I like that LFO a lot. Ah, you cut the tail off the reverb. Stop. Oh, who's next? Kimono Breeze. Here we go. Let's see how this flows. I'm not going to say I'm putting together a set to do for track feedback, but I really like having tracks by genre. Oh, Pipclit, great comment. I'm going to talk over your track, Jesse, and read this comment. I think we got a room problem here, and the bass build up around kick area, so it turned down too much to compensate for the room. That is definitely what happens when you're listening and it sounds awesome in your own mix in your own room, and then you record it, put it through to somebody else's speakers in their room, and it doesn't sound the same as you thought it does. So here we go. All right. I'm rewinding that gap. What do we do? 4-beat false drop? It's the day of the false drops. One more time. So your kick and snare are really big. The little tiny hi-hat is getting lost. I think your hi-hat could come up. Oh, Ian Waters. So the previous track, you think he needs to remove something in the last section? I like this bass line. Pauses, yeah. I'm curious how that bass is going to collapse to mono, because I hear it doing some stereo stuff. Can you guys hear that when I go into mono? I'm just taking the pan knobs and centering them up. The problem is if you go into mono and the volume of the bass drops, that means you have a phase problem. So I wanted to make sure we don't have that. Okay, we've got louder synth stabs from the Matt Schultz. DJ Waters, pauses could be longer. These are great comments. It's definitely fluid. All your tracks are always in this like happy bounce kind of thing. Like you could just drive with no stoplights. Kimono breeze making traffic lights turn green. He even makes the stop signs turn green. Okay, good. Mono test, yeah. So then if you need to fix that, you copy the bass line, do a second version that's only mono down low, and the stereo one keep up above 250 hertz, and then it's okay. Like, it's a great sound. This is cool. Somehow it's like energetic and chill at the same time, like fluid. Big old 80s snare drum reverb. And I like how there's kind of a breakbeat. I would play around with the hi-hats more and sometimes get to like a breakbeat hi-hat pattern with a little open hi-hat. Something like that, you know? Cool. Skip out to the end. Did he cut the reverb tail off? Fast fade down. Cool. Nice track. Make the hi-hats a little bit harder, a little bit higher. Maybe play with the hi-hat rhythms to make it feel like, you know, because the kick and snare are doing a little bit of a breakbeat pattern, and you could do something with the hi-hats to do like a little like something like that to pull out the breakiness of the beat. You could. You don't have to. This is a creative idea. Todd Mavis, really nice feel, upbeat without making you want to jump off the couch and run around. And Shepherds, where you would add distortion. Are you serious? Where? Oh, Scott Burke, see you later. Cool. Good, good, good. Is the bass weighty enough? Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you have a problem with it, you know, take the bass line, make a mono sub down low and pull the volume down a little bit, and then the bass that you have, just high pass filter it up high enough that if it does have a phase problem, you're not going to lose the low end. And we're going to save the second track until a little bit later. Are y'all ready for Ding to the... Should I play version 6 or War Cry for the Crazies? Too bad, you took too long to answer. Say goodbye to the ambient vibes, everybody. So there's some of the changes in the opening and layers and stuff. So Ian, what did you change? I saw your notes, you changed the bell sound a little bit. And... so that lead is cool. I like what that lead is doing where it comes in. Like. Okay, play Pancake or play both. Yeah, I will, let's skip through this a little bit. After this breakdown of Psychotic Madness, and I'll skip through. I like the journey we're going on in this one. Is that guy gonna come back in and shout like, ah, 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 ah. Okay, added the bells and the synth build, yeah.
Get back in there right now and play Ya Ya Ding Dong!
So good. And that screech is a little too loud right there. That's good. That's good. Those little slurp things, whatever that is, dude. Okay, let's check out one more time at the...
Get back in there right now and play Ya Ya Ding Dong!
That just hits you in the head. All right, so the screechy sound is awesome. It's a little louder than it needs to be, and you could bring it down. And that guy's voice reminds me of how can you eat your meat if you don't have any pudding? If you want to have pudding, you got to eat your meat. How can you get your meat if you don't eat your pudding? From Pink Floyd. So I like pancakes. I was gonna say Nintendo. It had that feel of like we're playing video games in the middle. This is big. Like army marching movie sound. Yeah, Todd, you know what I'm saying? The Pink Floyd thing. Three reverse kicks and a screecher. That was so cool. That turnaround thing, it was like a slurp. I am gonna steal that technique. Nice build, oh my god. You should be making a horror movie soundtrack, because that sounded like an airplane taking off. Now here comes the army to go fight the zombies or something. I don't know. The drama. Can you imagine hearing this in a big outdoor space with like the echoing? I wish I couldn't see the waveform. I don't wanna. All right, here we go. This low end is a little too fuzzed out. The bottom needs to be a heavier bass bottom, if you can even hear me. Yeah. We need a little more bass in that kick scratch because the fuzzy stuff is really loud on top. Concept idea. So what is your concept? I'm gonna skip through a little bit. So yeah, that part is like, it's like a tearing distortion, like, and it needs a little more low end. Oh my god, that break. Dun, 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 ding, 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 ding. Can we just put that on top of a kick drum? Yeah, this would be so good. Just this sound with a crazy kick drum. Ooh. False drop. Okay, I hear that breakbeat sound is in there. All right, I'm gonna play that tiny little kick drum section again with more bass EQ. That's a little bit more like what I was hearing. Yeah. It's definitely a mess with your head kind of track. Let's hear what happens right here. Thought it was over. Wrong. All right, I want to go back to this little part right here. Just this sound by itself with a big fat kick drum. You should please do a section like that. It would be so cool. Because the kick drum you have now, it's really distorted. So when it comes in with the kick and that scratchy breaks layer, you kind of lose the rhythm of the ding, 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 ding. So my biggest comment is more bass in the kick drum, maybe a new kick drum that's only bass, and take the distorted one and EQ the bottom out of it. Bump that bass, it messes with your head. Let's hear the ending, what happens. Ah, you cut off the reverb tail. Cool, man. Stop. Oh my God, it's like an out of control. It's like a fire hose. It's like, that's a great track. Keep going with that. Do some more with it and just give us a little more low end in the kick drum so we can feel the bottom. So is Adam Hatfield here? Because we got Mindbender with a before and after mix down and master. That almost rhymed. Let's listen to the master first, and then we'll go back to the one we heard last week and hear what happened. Here we go. It's so nice I don't have to stop and type in the titles. I'm digging that. So if it's good with you guys, I might just ditch that. I don't know. Yeah, Ian, definitely the distorted kick is cool, but we need something that has more bottom underneath it so it doesn't feel like it's all up in the air. So Mindbender, did you mix this? Or what did you do? We're curious. If you're here. Feeling more of a swishy feel in that. I'm gonna bump this up a little bit. This sounds amazing. Yeah, that synth bass line. Hey, Gabriel, what's up? This sounds great. The reverbs and the effects are so much more spacious this time. I remember the first version, we felt it was like sampley. It was like, you know, like kind of modern minimal sci-tech. Can we say dark disco, maybe? Yeah, I would play this track. This is great. It's therapeutic. Maybe a little too roomy, like with the reverb. It's a lot of reverb, yeah. That was like a really smooth ramp build-up of the predictable kind with just smooth up and get right into it. That bass line synth is making it for me. So a couple people are thinking there's a little too much reverb, maybe too wet or too long of a decay. I'm being picky. Totally in the groove. A 7-minute track. I don't know if I should skip ahead, but I'm really liking it. Give us the link. Give us the link. Where is Mindbender? I thought he was in the chat. What's he doing right now? Okay, I'm gonna skip forward. Oh, that's a cool sound. Somebody's tweaking some knobs on these effects. Louder vocals, yeah. And we're back into it. The Matt Schultz. Too long on the decay, washes into each other. This is not dub. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't ruin it though. It's just a big, wet, washy sound. Let's see how we build down. Feels like we lost the sub bass already. There he is for lovers of reverbs, flangers, and everything else. That's that vocal sibilant hi-hat, right? Sway on the spot. That's what I'm doing right now. All right, that sounds really great. Let's just go back to the before mix and compare. Hello? You can feel the groove and everything, but it's so dry and like... Let's get... Oh. Okay, so in the original one, there's like a bit of a melody that's like down, bow, bow, but I kind of couldn't tell, right? And then in the after version, that little chirp that's doing the melody, it's like bow, 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 bow. Because of that long reverb, I felt the melody and I could feel like it had a melody here. And then the other one, that little chirp is just gone. It's so dry and short. The before version sounds like a desert. The before sounds hollow. That shows you what a good mix and master can do. And how about like just overall levels in the main section? Okay, you get that in your ear. Let's go to 402. The master, if it has everything that you stereotypically say. It's like, it feels wider, it feels deeper, the texture is more like you can get every sound. Like, it's like every sound is up closer to you, kind of, and you can appreciate them more. And then it's surrounded inside this reverb where the whole thing is like continuous and glued together and fluid. And the before version just kind of sounds a little more dry, a little more disconnected. There are some sounds that I didn't even know were there. Like, I think that's the best thing about a master is when, like, let's say you're producing and you got a lot of layers and a lot of little things and you do up all your sounds. And then you put so many sounds in, you forget about some of them. And then you get the mastered version back and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that sound. But the mastering process brought up the volume of whatever mid-range part and you hear something that it was kind of just lost in the mix. That for me is the best thing that can happen. Yeah, really verby when doing the A-B, yeah. You know what would be fun would be to flip the phase on one of them and play them both together and see what what's different, but we can't do that with SoundCloud. All right, let's keep it moving. We got another one for Donats, but I like to play tracks from different people before we go back and double up. So let me close the ones we played already. Mindbender. What you got to do right now is drop your contact info in here so people can find out how to get that dark disco dubby sound if they want to have a mix and have some help. And here we go. Tim Law's Leave the Heart. Speaking of reverbs, yeah, so maybe the ultimate best version could be like the mix and master level of the Mindbender with just a little less of the reverb space, maybe. Personally, I would go for something like modulating the reverb where it dries up on a drop. There's like a big washy buildup, and then at the drop, it's like super dry in your face, and then have the reverb come back in a swell to be part of the motion of the track. Yeah, getting new monitors can do that too. Hear new details. Good drop. This might be another one of those stereo bass things. Oh, I like that hi-hat coming in right there. That's good. The kick drum has a good low end. The bass line is a little bit light. That's a cool sound. Little pitch variation. Wow, that's a cool sound. I want that synth a little louder. Right here it feels like maybe the kick drum should drop out. A new sound came in with a vocal. Might be better to have that as like a section with no beats, to have a break, and then have the beat come back in with the vocal. Yeah, that sounds a lot better at 205. The beat drops out, the voice comes in, this like sparkly synth.
We are the night.
Little delay on there. Clicky click.
Leave it behind. We are the night.
And I think the beat came in a little early.
We're broken.
Yeah, okay. So that synth, that drum beat came in too early. You didn't. Let's see if I can measure. All right, so at 149, when the voice first came in and that sparkly synth came in, I would cut the beats out there and keep them out all the way until this part at 240, which will be about a minute break, which is okay, a little less than a minute. You can have a minute-long breakdown. And the reason is the vocal here, the synth started doing like a pitch rise kind of thing.
We are the night.
That pitch rise makes like an intro, you know, like a build up to the next section, like a transition. That's the word I wanted. And it's too early for this section of beats, so cut these beats out.
We're broken.
And then right there, dum ping chicka dum chicka dum. That little fill could be a bunch louder. A little drum fill at 239, crank that up louder, and then drop the beat in. So we have like beats, vocal and sparkly synth as a break, and then the beats again. I know I'm pushing you into a predictable format, but I think it would work better for this track.
We are the night.
Aha, we need tension.
We're broken.
I like how the layers are working together now.
We are the night.
And I hear a little like sub bass.
We're broken.
Let me just check out. There's some sub. Right here, now it feels like deep house. Took a little while to get to where I really felt like, okay, we're sitting in a deep house kind of groove. But this part feels like I don't often say this, but in this situation, I would take some deep house tracks that you like and lay them out in the timeline and just measure how did the sections flow and pull your track kind of towards that, because this has a great groove right here and it could be a super cool deep house track, but the way that it began and the way we got here might not work for people who are like DJs who are scanning through to start a track. Like, let's just say. I mean, you could mix this in. But right here, it's like, doesn't really drop into a groove. It's just a beat. And the part that makes it feel for me like deep house at this part is the organ thing, like, is like a nice weird sound in the mid-range. The beat and the hi-hat are together in a groove. And there's a little bit of a chunky sub. And you need to have all those elements in there and the vocal on top. And now it's like in a really nice space. So you can kind of just have this be like where you start from and then play with the layers going through. Can you guys see the comments on the replay? Like if other people are watching the replay, can they see all the comments? I think I selected that in the YouTube settings. I gotta check that. Because I know that would be helpful. And hold on. I like that sub going on there. Let's skip forward and see where this goes. Okay, right here. That little bass part could be a little louder, or we got a bunch of bass elements here. Yeah, Ian, sections feel like they need to be longer in the first third of the track. So we need, the sound design is great in this one. Don't touch the sounds. The mix needs a little work for the several different bass sounds to combine to make the low end feel like a nice fluid thing. But there are some good sub on the bottom sounds and some mid-range bass sounds. The vocal's cool, and then the arrangement needs a little work. And then like right here, it's a good message. Well, that'll work for a dance floor, you know, talking about the heart and moving on or whatever. So there's a sub hit. It's almost like a second kick drum with boom boom in there. And that snare drum has a little too much reverb for me. It's a little like, it's a little bit like a spanky like kind of thing. This track is going to be cool. This could be a great deep house track. Work on the arrangement a little bit, especially the beginning part, to just get into the deep flow sooner without having sections that change a lot, if that makes sense. And maybe work on the low end to get your bass sounds kind of louder. The kick drum is in a good place, so you're going to want to put the bass sounds in between the kick drum beats. The bass line kind of thing could be a little bit louder. These are kind of like minor, subtle tweaks, but it'll have a huge effect on just making the track send the signal. When you press play, you're like, yes, I'm in deep house. This goes with deep house. I'll play this track. It's going to sound good. So good job. And also, Tim Laws, he's been putting in tracks for feedback for like a couple years now. It's getting dramatically better since there was a much more chaotic period a while ago with a ton of high frequency stuff and all these layers all clashed together, and that's like totally solved right now. The layers are really good. The sound design, that squiggly sound, I like that a lot. All right, comments should work later. Good. Ooh, OSP. Oliver, what are we listening to? Vur or Weirdo Town? I'm gonna guess Vur because it's newer, so let's play with that and see what we got. I'm feeling that sub already. That came in full blast. I was expecting a kick drum and a minimal, like, one hi-hat. An old clock on steroids. Yeah. That kick and that sub are so good. Personally, I would drop the kick with only one little hi-hat thing happening. I want to go back just at the beginning, right? Like, this part is so cool, just adding a kick drum and one closed hi-hat. I think would be enough. Oh, Tim, you're here. Good, 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 good. I'm gonna push it forward a little bit. This is great. That rhythm is like, it's so clicky. It is kind of like an old clock. A little bit of a reverse beat. All right, cool. The micro timing on that sub, do do da 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 da. There's a little like sync, like da da do. Comes at you on the upbeat a little bit. Oh yeah. This makes me want to just turn it up louder and louder. This is amazing. It is syncopated a little bit. Wait. What just happened? A little bit of a reverse and a little like stereo glitch. And then it comes in with the crash. I mean the ride cymbal. Amazing. I like where this track arrives at right here. Your drum breaks are so good, the reverses or the doubled up beats. I want to say it took a tiny little bit too long to get there. That vocal part was so cool. There's a place where you hear it coming in right here around 3 minutes. And, okay, 2:58. I think that part where the vocal starts coming in could happen right here. Faded in slowly from here because this little section from 233 to 258, it feels like a long section, and the ticky thing's happening and the click is happening, and it's good. You know, it's like not. When the first time we heard it, I didn't feel like there was anything wrong, but after this vocal thing came in and we're at such a cool place, I think that first breakdown section could have the vocal all the way through coming in right from the beginning of that to just hint to how we're going to get to here. And then these turnarounds. A little bit of a reverse sound and a stereo flip is super cool. I want to hear that triple kick drum again. sounds like the beat went into a delay. Like it sounded like hitting double records on the crossfader where you go boom boom pop pop boom boom pop like beat juggling. Probably it was just like a quarter note delay, and the reason I know it wasn't just doubled up kick drums because the snare or the clap hit afterwards too. Really effective. That was great. Yeah, it is very groovy. And the clickiness, like chicka 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 chicka. I like the texture of the beats is like really, really good. What the fuck? All right, explain that one. Master channel, crazy like deep flanger, something? I don't know. That's like an element of sound design that's from like outer space. It just comes in like, yeah, right here. Oh, perfect. So we had a breakdown and the vocal started right there at the beginning of that section. That's exactly what I meant. It just takes the energy like going up faster right away. And I like a little bit of crunch on the vocal. It's a little bit toasted. Dude, this guy, I gotta say, Oliver is a master of micro rhythm. When we were talking about the sub being kind of syncopated, from far away it just sounds like it's going like boom, 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 but it's not. It's actually going boom, boom, boom. There's a little bit of a catch on the second one, which makes it super groovy. And then again, we heard a little tiny micro timing thing right here. And I also stopped because there was a bit of a riser synth sound, like a brrrr, that I think could be louder to make a more dramatic build. I'm sorry for stopping so much. This thing? Don't. Is that what that was? Little rhythmic variations that are so effective. And then we're back in. Resonator and phaser, damn! This is groovy as hell, man. I'm really feeling it. And now the kick drum is doubling up a lot. I'm like singing along. Let's hear how we build it down. I hate skipping ahead on tracks, but oh. Okay, that transition sound, the wobbly LFO thing, I think could be a bunch louder. It's like, that could be really clear on top. Now we're back to the beat, the click, vocals are gone. By the way, the low end feels slamming as always with your mixes. I like how the clap is nice and dark too. It's like a smoky, dark, like a pitch down clap. Jesse, see you later, man. See you later. My lady wants lunch. I want lunch. There's a lot of layers in this rhythm too. That's hard to create. Sometimes you hear a track where it feels like it's just kind of dry, like the hi-hat's just by itself out nowhere. But this has all this like clicky extra. There. Yes, that wobbly sound. Right here by itself, it's so good. Clap, clap, clap. Okay, so the main thing is that little transition sound, make it louder. And this, I like how I can just mouse on the screen. The breakdown from 220. Yes, right here. Have the vocals come in right there, or make that breakdown half as long, because when the vocals come in this breakdown at 455, it's perfect. Like, the way that comes in like that is just amazing. This track is so good. I really want to have a copy of this track. I would play it as it is right now. It's totally playable right now. The low end mix is so great. Beats are so crisp and crunchy and like bubbling, and all the layers are mixed really nicely. And especially the variations, all those little double bumps and shit is like, oh, so good. So we have Weirdo Town. I'm not sure if that was an updated version. Benny Blanco is not here, right? So I think we played this on Saturday. I'm not sure if this is an updated one. And VTech, Todd Mavis, and Blanco Disco. So here we go, Mr. Melvis, Midnight Martini, and I'm gonna be organized for once in my life. So that's we did. I wanna make sure I'm kind of keeping track of what I played. So here we go. So Todd, what are you getting the bass sound from? Are you playing? What are you playing here? What's library sounds? Wow. Those guitars are lush. That surprised me. It's a really nice drum beat for the vibe of this track with the shuffle snare. The piano feels dominant. The drums are a little subdued, right? They're like in the back kind of. So I would put this mix in the jazz world for how the elements are presented. And then are you playing the keyboard parts? Scott Burke is back. Those drums sound great. I would take some of the metallic tone off the bass, the fret noise. And I would do that in a gentle way with a high shelf EQ. Just pull the, like, so it's like not like a low pass filter, because I don't want to cut that out, but I would take the high shelf EQ and bring it down like 6 dB down to like 2000 hertz, just to get the metallic end off the bass. All right, those tom fills are getting a little Tommy Lee for a second. Don't go too crazy with the drum fills, because it's kind of a subdued beat. And the snare shuffle and everything is like, I don't know. Yeah, Martin, I agree. The piano has a lot of low end. It's like those chords have like a heavy left hand side. And they're hitting some crunch notes that are, so you could also take some of the low end out of the piano. This is really a mix where you could almost mix it like a live band with some room bleed, where piano solo. And now the piano the right hand is a little too quiet. The watery guitar thing is cool. Dreamy guitars. This would be a fun band to mix if I was mixing this as a band. I'm gonna talk about this like I was mixing a band. So what I would do is, let's hear the ending. That kind of ending sounds like you should hear some voices like, hey, that was fun, guys. Yeah, come on, let's get a drink. And that last piano note sounds like they didn't finish together. So for an electronic production, it's great. It sounds almost authentic. Like I could believe this was a recording of a combo. Bass, piano, drums, and guitar. Just 4 pieces, yeah. So first impressions are the bass line was a little too louder than it needed to be. And I was commenting also the drums are a little far back. So if I was mixing this and I had overhead drum mics, I would just bring the overheads up a little bit and add a little bit more on the kick drum because the overheads would have the snare drum. That snare drum shuffle thing is really like pinning the rhythm together. And the drummer feels like he's kind of far away, like they put him in the back corner. I would get the drums up closer a little bit with a little bit more volume and bring the bass line down a little bit and then EQ. And then we have, now let's talk about bass and piano as 2 sounds. The bass has a metallic fret noise that you can hear on the top end of the bass frequencies that I would pull that down, like I was saying, with a high shelf EQ. So you don't cut off the top end, you just lower the top end proportionally to the bass. And then in the piano part, not as heavy on the left-hand chords, because when those chords come in, let's hear the piano by itself. Right there. It's kind of a crunch chord. There's a lot of neat. Down, boom, boom. I think the pinky, down, boom, boom. Is that right? This is one of those situations where you have a piano player who's playing a little bit of a bass line in the rotation. You could tell the piano player, hey, thin it out a little bit, you know, get rid of that low. Like, you ever see like a full piano on stage, and then the lower 2 octaves, there's a piece of tape and it says, we have a bass player, don't hit these notes. It's almost like that. The piano's cool, and then when the bass comes in, it's like, oh, it's like boom, boom. It's like a funk bass line, right? Boom, 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 boom. So the bass line can come down a little bit, drums up a little bit, take a little bit of the low end out of the piano, and those chords are nice and bright. And then when the guitars enter, we get this like watery, dreamy guitar, really wide, which is great. Where was that? Yeah. And also, that guitar part has a little bit of lower mid-range stuff that you can feel like the strum kind of part of it, like mid-range pressure. And this guitar part could be really thin. You could take a little bit of the lows out of the guitar, and they would still totally work. And the reason is, when you get the piano solo, that needs to poke through brighter in the front. So I'm thinking of people, like if in this band, the only person who took a solo was a pianist. So I'm thinking, all right, it's a piano band, the piano is in front on stage, main person, and the piano solo is going to be an important event in the music. So get that right-hand piano solo up out front a little bit more. Maybe even automate it, or just do something only at that part to be like, piano is louder, and then pull it back. Oh, Scott said I'd brighten the tone of that guitar too. Yeah, you could you know, take out a little of the lows, turn up the highs one way or the other, and then maybe bring the volume up. But this is really cool. It's really like a nice, like I would put on an album of this stuff and go like make some eggs and potatoes on Sunday and like have a little brunch. Really nice, like make your houseplants grow kind of music. If anybody's into houseplants. And the piano has kind of a bluesy sort of feel. And then it goes with like the jazzy vibe. And my favorite part, boom, 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 boom. It's got like a heavy bass, right? So that's cool. I've said it a million times. I'm sorry to stop and start and interrupt tracks and everything, because I do like to just listen through cleanly. But that's great. Oh, the chords are gospel jazz based. Maybe switch to fretless. Yeah. The second chord in the piano melody sounds suspect. I said crunch chord. It sounds like, you know, if you've got like a chord, you hit a couple of the notes in between, like, you know, a little suspended second or something, I don't know. So what should we do? It's 1:17. I want to play a couple more tracks and then finish up. Let me know if anybody else is here with us right now. If you put in a track that I did not play, let me know so I can hit it. While I'm waiting for comments, I want to give a little shout out to the Matt Schultz with this new release, Introspective, which of course is Dub Techno. And type it in right now if you're watching and I didn't play your stuff. And if you're watching on replay, here comes a little promo. This is track feedback from the tracks in Discord from people in the track feedback crew. We were doing it on Facebook for a while, and it was great, but I am so glad that we moved over to Discord, not only because Facebook freaking crashed yesterday, but the interactions are better. You know, we can, I don't know what it is, but there's like, you get more of like the sense of the personality of each person. There are like special containers for each track. We have threads for each track that stay there. So you don't have to go scrolling down a million miles of the one post to find the track and then find the comments. It's like really so much better organized. We have genres, you know, like techno, house, whatever. And then inside each genre, there's a special thread for each track. And the more you update your tracks, the longer it stays there. And it's just there. It doesn't disappear every week. I don't have to put up a new post and like delete the old one. It's so much better. It's more continuous. The connections between people are working. F sharp minor 9. Art. Yeah, that's cool. Minor 9. I said like there was a second in there, like a suspended second, which is like a ninth, but down in between the 1 and the 3. The wavering lead, right? Yeah. Oh, VTech. Good. We'll play your track after this. Yeah. So everybody who's watching, join us in the Mixitecture Discord server. Discord is a free program you download from discord.com. Get it on your computer. You can close the internet browser completely. Close Facebook, close Chrome, close everything. Open up Discord and have a whole other place to hang out and chat with people. I'm not going to do a whole screen share tour and everything. Get with us on Discord. I'll put the link in the replay and all that, or in the notes. And you can join us on Discord for free. And then if you want to get into posting tracks, getting comments, giving feedback, and really bringing your tracks to be ready for release, you can join the track feedback crew. It's $19 a month using your Mixitecture members discount. I'm happy to hook up anybody that wants it with the coupon code. It's listed as $25 a month, but you can get in for $19, which is an amazing deal for the community you get, the replays, other interviews, other workshops that are coming up in development, and a whole contact network on the members site of people who are doing mixing and mastering like Pivklit and Martin Mindbender, who can really help you get your track up to where it needs to be for pro level, and then get into the process of shopping it for some labels. So join us in the track feedback crew, because we're the best. Oh, Ian's out of here. DJ Waters, thanks for hanging out. I love your comments. This is Introspective from the Matt Schultz on Bandcamp for the 9,000th time today. I'm so sorry to fade this down, and you're not going to get to watch me buy this online and steal my credit card numbers, you fuckers. So let's play VTech. Where was it? OSP, Benny Blanco. Here, sweep. Cool. There we go. Oh, yeah, I like that. Is that the track glitching or am I glitching? Oh, this is going somewhere. Drums are a little dry. We could use a drum reverb, I think. That kick is so satisfying. Are we doing some ring mod on there? What is that sound? Damn, this is spacey. And it's cool, the kick is just with a little clink tick, 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 on top. Percussion mix could change a little bit. The one sound, it's happening a lot and it's loud. It could come down a little bit and the little hi-hats up a little bit. like the synthetic texture of this track. It's kind of like boing and plastic. These mid-range sounds are a little too sharp. Oh, I like it now. It got kind of hollow. The rhythm is cool. The sonic texture of that one. Hold on, what was it doing before? Dude, that hi-hat and snare pattern is cool. That little hi-hat and snare thing should be louder, and the bat should come down a little bit. It's a subtle shift, but just bring those drums up a little bit and get a reverb on there so they feel a little bigger, and then keep those synths kind of together apart from the drums. A lot of good comments. Kick drum compression from the Meshels. Yeah, the drums need more definition or something. This is a good build-up. I feel like something's happening. There's an organ. Woo! That's good. It's cool. What's that squeaky thing? I like it. There's a lot of good sounds in here. I don't have a problem with the kick drum. I know you could do compression and stuff on it and make it a little different, but do we get to hear the sub bass note by itself without the kick? That would be cool. Because I hear a low, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. That new sound. I don't know why this one sounds so different. It sounds like there's almost like a delay happening with a high-pitched click that feels like a buffer glitch or something. It's like a little clicky. I don't know. Wait, is that the same every time? Do you guys hear that? I'm not sure what's happening with my... Something in this section, yeah, it did lose some energy, kind of. Let's find out why. There was this really cool build-up with a... atmospheric pad synth kind of thing coming in. That thing feels like a cloud in a really good way. And then that cloud synth kind of went away. Okay. I'm not sure why this is the only track today that feels like it's been kind of glitchy. Is there a little high frequency click that's like bouncing around? All right, Mindbender's got some good notes. And this sound. Yeah, down a little bit. Let's see how it is. I like that. Pew. Good ending. Okay, so there's a volume question with some of the sounds to get the drums, like the hi-hat and snare when they were doing that little tick-a-tick-a-tick thing. Where was that? That was cool, so they could be a little louder. The metallic synth percussion could come down a little bit, and I would work with something in this build section, because this was really going to a cool place. And I was like, I even stopped talking. I was like, oh, it's like lifting up, and there's something coming in, but then it sort of didn't continue. And there's a squeaky high melody on top. Like, what would happen if the beat came in and you kept all this stuff happening with that chord hanging in the air? And now the kick and the squeaky thing on top. It's cool. It has this aggressive kind of thing happening at the same time as that ambient space. So I would like to hear this again next week. Try to get as many of the notes as you can from the comments, because a lot of people said really good stuff. Mindbender was saying bring the kick drum volume down so you have more headroom for the other stuff. That might let you push up the drums, the other snare and hi-hat higher. Yes, there was a click happening. Okay, thanks on that. And Benny Blanco's Dubmatic remix. I'm just going to play this to kind of have some outro music.
The rules of McDelivery.
No, I'm not, because that's a McDonald's commercial. Track feedback is finished. This is an hour and a half. It's Wednesday. It's 90 minutes. So that crying detuning sound is cool. Good. Hey, this is great. So in an hour and a half, we went through like about 10 or something tracks that I wanted to do. And I like being able to do as many tracks as possible, but I want to give quality feedback on each one of them. So we might get to something where like I play a track, then as soon as I find a comment that's really helpful, maybe we could just stop there and not play the whole length of every track. Shepard's Dead Duck. I didn't pull up your tab. Let me go to Discord. You're in Destroyed Gardens. What was it? Destroyed Grounds? And Discord reacts really slowly when I'm streaming. That's why I decided not to try and play tracks right out of Discord. Oh, Destroyed Fields version 3. I'm sorry, I missed that. Good. I'm glad you spoke up. No? Which Shepherds? Which track am I looking for here? Because I see Destroyed Fields version 3. Their little aperture logo. Let me know what to play while we're here. I'm so sorry, you guys. I did a workout on Monday of like legs, like squat stuff. And my every time I move around, I'm like, ow. Version 3, sorry. Yeah, to all new producers watching, keep on producing. You got this, unless you mess up the kick drum, and then we're going to come and get you. All right, Destroyed Fields version 3, and then we'll talk scheduling. This is cracking. That's a nice reverb swell for that transition. That was really good. Is the kick drum a little more dirtier? A little like more distorted or dirty? It has a nice bite on it. The bass needs to be centered, what? I like how you do those little high-pass filter breaks. Wait, what? Hold on, there's a sound that dropped out and then it got really cool. Okay, we got rumble, kick, snare. Cut the low end. Feels like it got a little more empty right here in a really good way. So this kick and bass is too much for the clubs. You think that rumble has too much sub in it? It does feel like a... I like pitching down that cymbal. What is happening? Okay, the hi-hat came in that was going faster, ticka 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 ticka, but that started kind of in the wrong place for me. Like, okay, here we are, boom, boom, 152, right? No, not here. Let this empty space be a breakdown with none of that fast hi-hat. Do the cymbal pitch, playing with the reverbs and sounds, and I would save that fast hi-hat until the kick comes back in, because this part right here has all this effect echo stuff happening. You don't need that fast hi-hat right here. Now, then when this drop comes in with faster hi-hat for the first time, it'll really feel like the energy goes up. So don't waste that hi-hat is like you're putting it too soon and it loses the surprise of like and your sub frequencies in the rumble of the kick drum are gonna be a little too much. Let's cut forward a little bit. There's those like, sounds like tearing paper. That was a good transition sound. That was cool. All right, good. So those are a couple, right there you have enough notes to work on. So let me skip forward. We're jamming. I don't know why it sounds so cool when you change the pitch on that cymbal, but that's really like a great, this style of track, it's a great thing to do on that. This is cool. Like tearing static. And there we can really hear the low end. Yeah. So you need to work on that low end rumble a little bit so it has the extension and sound and space, like the shape of the rumble is cool, but just the bottom part, when the actual subs, if you look at them in the bass bins are just like the whole entire time, it can be a mush that even under great listening circumstances, it can be a lot. And then if you happen to be in the club in the corner, it would just be like, could be crazy. Scott Burke, maybe a too much reverb on the new leads, washing over each other. One reverb or two, but not all three. Nice transitions and yeah, needs a little bit of mix. I especially like the quality of the sounds. I've been saying it sounds like tearing, ripping, static paper. I heard one right at the very, very beginning. This is gonna be great. Yeah, that one. A little bit crunchy, distorted, toasty, and just kind of nice. So this is cool. It's a dark. Oh my gosh, the picture is perfect on that one. It's like a spooky dark, like basic soul unit or shed. Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, get this one going on. Talk to Piv Clit about the low end because he's super good with this kind of low end bass. And that's going to be it for track feedback today. How do y'all feel with these sessions being an hour and a half or 2 hours? I'm starting to think maybe we should do another day per week. And there's also a reason for that, you know, I want to do some workshops and I want to do some interviews where we have other people showing techniques and skills. So basically, I think we're going to be adding more video all the time, possibly having it down to 1 hour. What if we did 3-track feedback streams, 1 hour each, and then added a couple of production workshops? That might be cool. I don't know. And also for me, I would like to do some more. I actually like teaching. Like what I would think, well, what do you think about this? Here's an idea. What I would like to do is take the tracks I'm working on and just go live and mix and be like, here's a channel, here's what I'm gonna do, EQ, compression, limiter, whatever, show you the mix tools I use on that channel. I could do like little pop-up 20-minute videos where we just like, here's the track I'm working on, I'm gonna show you the sound I made last night, how I processed it, where it is in the mix, and have it be like a little how to do a bassline workshop or how to do a synth group workshop. Listen to Hefty. I would like to teach a little bit of gain staging, partly because it's fun to teach, but also that leads to the gain staging course. So when people are watching the public YouTube replay, I do need to do some stuff to promote other courses and lessons and just get more eyeballs and traffic into the courses and lessons that I'm doing. So maybe I could add in some workshops doing that kind of thing. And I like teaching sound design. So I have a whole operator course where we go through really in-depth how to set up modulators with ADSR envelopes, LFOs, routing to filters and pitch and all kinds of stuff. And I would like to show you some of my tips and tricks on that and do those as workshops in here and then lead out to little promo for lessons, session lessons, hands-on lessons and stuff. So what do you all think about having more video workshops per week and then mixing in some Discord Hangouts? I tested this out yesterday, right? Yesterday morning with going into the voice channel, opening up mic, camera, screen share, and just having Discord Hangouts. Because I think one of the coolest things is how you can pop up and interact with people in your time zone or whoever is awake when DJ Waters is awake. So let's start doing some Discord Hangouts just to do like, I don't know, chill out sessions or like whatever. People just kind of meet and talk and chill. And then I could probably work in, I haven't tested doing Ableton Sound into Discord with camera and mic all together. So I'm gonna start looking for moments to test that and everything and see how it works. Because what I don't want to do is have one workshop a week for 4 hours playing 100 tracks and then everybody's like, oh my God, this is a marathon. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think doing more video, more days per week is a good idea, and then adding in some spontaneous hangouts inside Discord, just like a group chat. Maybe we could have like a Friday night hangout and whoever's hanging out or something. Let's see what happens. Oh, a good idea to make more 20-minute stuff so the YouTube algorithms will love you more. Okay, so maybe like the workshop lessons, I could do pop-ups and just be like 20-minute workshop on one element of a mix and not a 2-hour workshop on the whole mix. That definitely would be good for me. And okay, thanks for the support on that. That's really nice. As always, let me know if you want to change a time slot or if you want to be here, if it's better for you to be at a time when I'm not on. Like I found basically from my time, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. seems to catch a lot of the people. We get the West Coast waking up, we get the Europeans in the afternoon, evening, and then my time zone's daytime, sometimes on lunch. And this works pretty well for me in the middle part of the day. So I'll keep aiming for this. And it's Wednesday, so get those revisions done, and we'll do track feedback again on Saturday. I really like how the track feedback, the @track feedback crew is working. I think I'm seeing all the threads. I don't think I missed any tracks. I looked through before this video today, and I really looked into every channel and tried to find every track and every update. One thing that's hard for me is when the same exact link has a new audio file updated, because it's not quite as easy to tell that it's been updated. So please put a text note that says the date you updated it, like updated Wednesday. Don't say updated today, because then we don't know what today is, but updated like Wednesday the 6th, so I can grab the newest version. This was a problem in Facebook feedback too, is I was always like, oh, am I playing the newest updated one? So Tom Mavis, good on timing. Gree on timing. I'm glad it's Gree. And anybody who's in Discord, if you wouldn't mind changing your Discord name to the name we know you by on your, like when I look at the comments, right? And I like to be able to say, okay, here's the track we're playing, here's the person commenting, make it easily connected. Like our friend Lana has a name that's in like Chinese or Korean, which is a little tricky, because if I want to search for that person in Discord, I'm trying to type in like, who is it, where is it, what are they? Try to like make your name and your labeling and everything as easy for other people to find your stuff so that we can just find your tracks and comment them. And that's enough of my lecture, blah, 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 don't get lost. Checking YouTube. I know we have like a minute-long delay, so I might not see your most recent comments, but thanks everybody for watching. I love how this feels to hang out and do Discord and do track feedback and everything. And that's going to be it for this time. I'll see you on Saturday, and have a lovely day. Back to here. Whoa. All right. Any last comments coming in? If I miss it, I'll see